Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your broadcaster, your host, and your excellent, magnificent, evanescent leader, Christopher Malcolm Curtis Bone, in this evening edition of Fire of Liberty, the most very fantastic and evolutionary leader in leadership, and of course advocating for the many types of evolution and the various paths of which I am, believe it or not, consciously aware of, or not consciously aware of. Either way, it's a win-win. The type of tenacity that is able to be understood in the co-creative spectrum of peace, prosperity, and evanescent realm making, and that's an incredible simplification, is the type of cities that exist already. Because what exists in the future and what we're becoming exists right now, meaning the indestructible, invincible, practical, glowing, brilliant, rejuvenative, and ultimately just unparalleled cities throughout the entire galaxy and even the surrounding galaxies is the type of brilliance that exists here on planet Earth, which is why we are such the grandest leaders of not only light as a representation of the greatest type of galactic foundation here on planet Earth throughout the surrounding galaxies, but of course throughout the entire universe. And that's already been reiterated through various mechanisms and many various terms and many different actions, initiatives, and beginnings in which we represent our full embodiment in a very beautiful, evanescent way throughout the entire galaxy with love, unity, and very positive and acceleration, of course, as usual. Brief, once again, but still on point and on task. Grandeur, evanescence. So one of the major things, of course, is which is already known, is that, and bear with me because this is already done. So there's this per se threshold that must be crossed, per se. Like, how do we get through this threshold of, for example, bear with me when I speak this because this is already truth. We got something as okay, so I'm going to give the analogy first. Fly swatter and a fly. And then we got weather manipulation technology and it's just and here's the thing, that's the last thing. That's the only thing that they have. And because all the ground that they lost because of light workers and light worker work and light warrior work and ultimately all those that have come out and all those that haven't come out yet, and of course all those who have made the ultimate sacrifice have made incredible trailblazing movements to where the only thing left is weather technology. So now, and to be honest, yes, it is weather technology, and of course there's many different other aspects to it. It's very, 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 it's quote complex, unquote, but it's not complex because it can be brought down to the simplicities. And so what is happening? One of the major things I do is, of course, anchor light. What does that mean? It is the sort of synchronization of the subtleties that occurs throughout history, kind of pinpointing it to the now moment. And of course, that's already understood. And of course, the advancement acceleration is already happening. But at the same time, I'm trying to quicken not only the process of the condensation of what I know into the subtleties of what exists in the now moment, which of course is important for the future, but also to, one, be the boots on the ground for the type of heaven anchoring that occurs pretty much throughout consciousness, throughout the universe, as well as the very important aspects and parts that exist in the types of subtleties that are not only history accelerations, but also sort of cognizational, actional forms which can not only teach imagination but represent spiritual enlightenment, spiritual growth. Excuse me, that's what I meant to say. Spiritual growth, and then of course entering into the sort of portal and entering to the realm of the unknown, per se, the actual transition phase of into that, what I described as that threshold. To quickly just get there, just snap, because someone has to hold, for goodness sake, forgive the language, but seriously, someone's got to hold the Stargate. And one Stargate, I mean, this is just one type of understanding of what Stargate is, but I'm digressing. So, the type of course, the type of technology that exists with weather technology, of course, is just not a really functional sort of thing, especially since we're more advanced and more evanescent than the understanding of what it comes down to with the not only the legendary cities that, for example, pre-exist now with the spiritual enlightened and evolutionation minds capable of moving in such a... I mean, come on, this is the frontier. I mean, it's amazing to not only be the anchor, and I'm not just tooting my own horn, but it's amazing to not only be the anchor, but to, of course, to continuously witness this type of evanescent light bringing fruition. And of course, for those that still need to be anchored in light, of course, I'm able to do that. Subtleties exist in the functionalities of what can be done in the very simplistical leadership light glowing that goes on. And this is our chance. This is our moment. We know it's going on. We know it. We know it. So how do we continue rising higher? How do we continue rising higher? How do we continue rising higher, and how do we continue rising outward and inward, even more importantly, and then, of course, continuing to manifest is quite easy, quite simple, and there's complexities involved in the type of fruitions that go on. Quarantines, I'm going to simplify it really quickly. Break through, break free, break out, break away. I'm doing multiple languages at the same time. I'm trying to... So this language is English. It's the main language. And to say plus, je voudrais parler la langue française. Or excuse me, je voudrais parler la langue anglais maintenant parce que il faut que je parle la langue anglais. Well, there isn't really a reason. Well, there is a reason, but I want to speak this language right now. Okay? So, and je sais plus, but anyway, I'm digressing. Not really, but still saying a point. The point is, it's huge. I mean, we're huge. We're so huge, and we know that. So we know that, when it comes to anchoring in the light, it means I'm not even going to define it, because it's not that it's undefined. It's just it's a responsibility that is. So I'll put it this way. We got light cities. That's the most basic sort of function. Galactic citizenship and galactic societies with spaceports, higher consciousness, and just a sense of community and culture. Basic evanescent community, or basic galactic community. The type of world is completely different. The rate of change is completely different. It's so much. I'm telling you, I mean, it's not Stone Age, Iron Age, and then Steel Age anymore. It's bam, 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 bam. It's bear with me because we're gonna pick up the pace. And I'm explaining it in English, so here we go. And I've already done this, but it's still pretty cool and it's fun to do. So let's do it again together. Planet, star, central star, galactic star. Planet, star, central star, galactic central star. Planet, star, central sun, galactic central sun, or planet, sun, central sun, galactic central sun. Anchoring light over and over and over and over and over, it literally pounds rejuvenation, light, energy, light codes into. So that was a breakdown of what sort of life. So, okay, I'm really accelerating incredibly fast, so let me break it down again. So we're literally pounding light codes into what can be not only called the Merkaba, but of course it can be called the Aura system. But more importantly, we're pounding it into geometrical life, the geometrical forms of life. So, geometrical forms of life. I'm not going to go into the detail about that, but geometrical forms of life, you can do your own research. I'm not re-researching what I already reiterated, the research that I know. Pounding light into many different types of frequencies, which are understood in the infrasound of what we reiterate and radiate as radiating human beings, being the embodiment of. Because here's the thing. Alright, so let me finish that sentence. Being the embodiment of light. Now, I already explained speed of love, speed of light, and of course, cyclosphere, which is a billion. I should draw that number. But almost a million, almost 1.5. Oh, goodness gracious. But almost 1.5 million. Voltage is the speed of light. Well, either way, it expresses our power. Not just about power, but our importance of anchoring the light. I mean, what we do it's huge. So anyway, some other things I want to add to this episode or broadcast. Excuse me. We're entering into what I call a new age, what I call a new enlightenment era, what I call a new golden age, golden era. I'm literally if I told you, just in layman's terms, being incredibly blunt, if I told you to hold on, I mean, it's skipping, we're skipping now, we're literally just, because I know how to go from, I know I've been through, jumping through, and I can probably say this pretty honestly, I've been jumping through golden planets and this planet, golden planets and this planet, or higher elevated realms, and then back to this planet. I'm incredibly spiritually adept at that. So this time, that's why I say I'm anchoring light. There is only anchoring light because there's only light, and then elevating that light and love, and then once again, that's what's so brilliant about being a transformational love human being, because Because when you, bear with me, but when you embody the entire universe within, in the physical, then you can really start creating. It's not like then, but it's like now, but it's like was, but like then. Okay. It's your host, Chris from Curtis Bonus, evening edition of 5 Liberty. Your full-on galactic trainer, mentor, and teacher, light, coach light, trainer light, being light, worker / warrior / being ambassador for planet Earth, ambassador for solar system and the galaxy, this galaxy. Love you all.